Hello and welcome to the Corner Flag. My favorite drink is 7-Up. I only stay in 7-star hotels and my favorite film is 7 Psychopaths. Mukesh wrote this fucking intro. Welcome to another Monday recording of the happiest football podcast in the world with the happiest host in the world. Mukesh has a big smile on his face. Are you stoned or are you just happy?
I'm just waiting to see how long you'll continue until you announce the score yourself. And
you have to ask me the question, dude.
I know.
Did you all see United's full-time tweet? Yeah. Even they didn't announce the score. They were like, "Chod na, full-time is all that matters. Let's not get into the score."
Yeah.
Amogh.
What was the
dying?
Yeah.
Dying to do this. As many people, but you should know, many people have messaged me personally.
Yeah, like
it's
proper.
Like all these Liverpool fans who were asleep the whole year have come back being like, hey, what? Yeah, something happened or what? They all
Apna time aa gaya.
Yeah, apna time aa gaya. And it's nice because everybody who went to hiding in 2022 has come back in 2023.
Yeah.
As all the fake sleeping has now been over.
Like a proper influencer. Like, so guys, lots of people have been asking me. Many of you have been asking me what the score is, and I
they
just like to say,
asking me.
Yeah.
They've been asking me to ask you.
Yeah.
And someone said, "Suck it, Amogh."
Yeah.
Someone said, "Stick it to Amogh."
Yeah. So, unnecessary hate.
Very much necessary, I think, in the context of this. But finally, what was the score, Amogh?
7-0.
Who was 7? Who was 0?
Fucking Liverpool beat Man United 7-0. But we don't begin the episode there. We don't begin this episode.
Oh, damn it.
That's second on the run order. I mean, technically it is still first on the run order. I forgot to talk about this. But we begin with the ISL because...
I would think you would want to get it over with, just rip the band-aid, but you like this slow death.
Yeah, I do. But also, do you think, Aakarsh, that Mukesh is just going to let me get done with it? He is going to rant about this for the next 50 minutes.
It's not just Mukesh. I'll also join in. 7-0 loss, dude. It's been a while.
तू Everton supporter है, थोड़ी तो शर्म रख.
पता है, Everton hasn't lost 7-0 in very fucking long.
This is my dream as a United fan and an Everton fan fighting about whose life is worse. This is the greatest moment of the year.
I hate Liverpool. Everything and I hate everyone. No, but we begin with the ISL because, as you know, Mumbai City FC have won the league, but now the playoffs are on. And the way the playoffs work is there's 2 quarterfinal fixtures that take place between 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place, and 6th place. The first quarterfinal that took place was between Kerala Blasters and Bengaluru FC, which was really, really controversial because it ended 0-0 at 90 minutes. And in extra time, at about 97 minutes, Sunil Chhetri had a free kick, which he took quickly and scored. And the goal stood. And in protest, the Kerala Blasters coach Ivan Vukmanovic asked his players to walk off, and they did, and therefore Kerala forfeited the game. Like, this has never happened in ISL history. I don't think it is, like, in recent memory, I don't think I've seen this happen in football.
Yeah, I think I remember in the Italian league some team walking off because of racism. But ISL too, it's definitely not happened.
I mean, see, now when you put it that way, racism is a valid cause.
Yeah, for sure.
Bad refereeing and racism, I think.
Racism किधर और नहीं यार तू ऐसे गोल कैसे मार सकता है नहीं यार I don't like this.
I swear on my mother it ended. I swear.
Yeah.
That's how you
that was the last time it happened.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing it at all.
Yeah, you shouldn't, because that would be very, very bad for everyone involved in this recording.
Worse than racism,
but it would be bad. It would be quite bad, yes. But yes, the players walked off. Mookie, what do you think about that as a South Indian yourself? Because that is your only contribution to this story.
Correct.
Do you think Kerala Blasters were right in forfeiting the game and walking off in the way that they did?
I think they did the correct thing.
Why?
Because I think they are a 100% literacy state, and they're like, shit, if the referee can't read VAR, then walk off. He can't read an image. We're reading so much, this guy can't read an image, and they walked off.
Okay, 2 things. The ISL does not have VAR. So the referee doesn't have to read anything.
Even worse, he can't read a game that's happening in front of him.
You could have said he couldn't read the rule book. You know?
I don't think Mukesh knows the rule book enough to be able to say that the referee didn't read the rule book.
I don't think Mukesh knows how to read. He's not from Kerala.
I'm not from Kerala.
he's from Hyderabad, which, as we have been told multiple times, apparently is a different state, place in South India. This is not corroborated. This may not be true, but apparently there's like different states in South India.
Oh, just wait till we talk about Man United.
Don't say stuff like this. He'll walk out. South Indians have been walking off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very, very true. But no, Aakarsh, what are your thoughts on the walkout?
My thoughts on the walkout were that honestly, very quickly after the goal, Ivan was like, "Chalo, chalo, ghar
Yeah.
chalte hain." Usko susu aa raha tha. He just wanted to get out of there because honestly, they didn't give the referee enough time to explain the situation. They didn't even argue for too long. He was just like, "Acha, goal diya, okay, no problem, let's go home. I'm
Right.
taking my football and going home." That
Yeah.
was the demeanor overall.
Which is it's weird because this was just before the halftime of extra time, so there was an entire half of extra time yet to be played, and it was just one goal. It's not like it was something that Kerala Blasters couldn't realistically come back from. But I mean, if their coach thinks that one goal is all it takes to beat their team, and if that goal is supposedly unfair, then that's it.
Yeah, it was a bit of an extreme reaction, I think, to
Yeah.
walk away. I think it's such a really bad precedent for himself and from his dressing room's point of view, which is that, okay, you go a goal down, there's a shitty referee decision, which happens all the time in football, even at the highest level, so let alone at the ISL level.
Yeah.
So I think to do this, I think it's sort of a terrible, I think he's probably going to be fired. I think maybe I think this is fire-worthy behavior from a coach to
So,
ask
yeah.
his players
So
to
the
walk off.
So the thing is, it's there's no statement that's been put out by Kerala Blasters or the ISL about what the course of action is going to be. Vukmanovic himself has not said anything on his social media or anything like that. So they're being very tight-lipped about the whole thing till they figure out what the procedure is going to be or what the sanctions are going to be. What we are hearing is that they might get a hefty fine. They might get a points reduction for next season, but that does not seem very very likely. मतलब इधर Man City को point deduction नहीं मिलता है, ISL में Kerala Blasters को कौन देगा? And there was also talk of a overall suspension from the league, but again, I do not think that will happen because as it is, there's no promotion relegation. I mean, there is promotion now from next season onwards. Round Glass Punjab, winners of the I League, coming to the ISL next season.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that.
Yeah, well done to Round Glass Punjab. Which also is a great name for a football
That
club.
is I was just going to be like, are we just going to ignore the fact that the name is amazing?
Yeah.
It's so Punjabi. It's bang on.
The only way it could be more Punjabi is if it was called Wiki.
Or if
Or
it was
whiskey.
called, or it ended with brah.
Yeah, true.
Then it would be more Punjabi.
Correct. Lots more of this banter next season of the ISL when they actually come to play. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll know what the ISL decides. I think a fine is all that Blasters will get.
No, but I'm like Mukesh said, I wouldn't be surprised if Kerala Blasters sacks the manager because, like you're saying, there was 15 minutes remaining. It was just a 1-goal deficit. You're in the playoffs.
Surprisingly, all of Kerala supporters and the staff and the players are with the manager. And the manager is a very loved figure within Kerala Blasters. He's done really well with that team. So I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps his job for next season.
He gets promoted to
Yeah.
CEO, Abhi say.
Yeah. Basically, you just don't be on the touchline. Like, don't be involved in places where you can make shitty decisions like this, but you still be in charge. That's the vibe, right? That is the ISL, and with that, I think Mukesh, we can get to what you wanted to get to, which is Man City 2, Newcastle. Oh man!
Actually, Amogh, I genuinely want to hear your thoughts first. I just want to see what you have to say about United's performance, Liverpool's performance.
He just wants to bask in the victory.
I just want to bask in the victory.
I don't have thoughts. Honestly, it was shambolic. Like it was embarrassing. It was ridiculous. It was shambolic.
Your
It was.
thoughts are coming out in tears form. I articulate my thoughts as tears.
Yeah. So the thing is, the first half was decent. I thought the first half was decent. I thought the first 20 minutes United had a game plan of letting Liverpool play, soaking up the pressure. Because
What a
the,
game
I
plan.
thought let them win.
no, it wasn't about let them win.
Yeah,
It was
no,
like
I
let them
get
play. Fuck you guys.
Look at him trying
I
to
just-
defend a
yeah.
team that can't defend.
I just want to watch this capitulation.
Why did I come for this recording, guys? Why
You
did
can
I
walk
put?
out now.
I
as
can't.
Kerala
There's
Blasters.
no.
That's why our producers are towards the door. It's so that you can't leave.
Yeah, they're like, no, you have to sit through this shit. No, I thought the first half was decent, and halfway into the first half, we saw United get into the game. The 43rd minute goal by Gakpo really kind of took the wind out of our sails a little bit, and I thought that the halftime team talk would be enough for Ten Hag to move things around tactically, and I was wrong. The second half was annihilation.
It's total annihilation.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this
Destruction.
anymore. So if you have
It was
any
just
thoughts,
a pummeling of the highest order. It was catastrophic.
Thesaurus
It was
लेके बैठा है क्या?
biblical. He was destroyed. You were screwed, man.
Lagga.
No, I thought the first half did feel like, even though Liverpool controlled it, I thought United was still had the game under their control.
Yeah.
And everybody did think, and even in the corner flag, we predicted that it'll be a 2-1 victory to which team? Sorry, which is the team that we predicted?
Yeah.
Which team, Amogh? I forgot. What is the team called? Man United.
Yes.
Man United. We had a United front and then United will win. And nobody really predicted Liverpool to win or take away any points for that matter. And I think Rashford does some really nice work with feeding underprivileged kids some food. So he fed, I think, so Liverpool continued that by feeding all Man United fans some humble pie.
Yeah. Oh. How long did you take to write that?
I was
line?
waiting all night. I haven't slept all night. Just on like construct the greatest pun ever.
As soon as the full-time whistle went, Mukesh has gone and taken out his dusty black book from his drawer. He's written it down furiously at 3 a.m.
And I wasn't confident until 5-0. Yeah. Even at 4-0, I was like, Liverpool might do something crazy. But at 5-0, I was like, the game is done.
Achha. So then you can write. Like,
humble pie has been fed for everybody.
Right now, if you go to Mukesh's room, there's like a litter full of like crumpled up pieces of paper with different variations of this line.
Wow,
Like Martin Tyler must be impressed by his research last night.
He fed them paneer, tofu.
Yeah.
And they're like, on this 107th try, pie. He fed them humble pie.
Yeah.
No, so that was excellent. I thought for me, the greatest moment was when I think Salah scored his second goal and just Trent went and just crowned him with an invisible crown. And have you seen that photo?
Yeah.
With him being crowned?
Yeah, you sent it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike you, we actually check our messages, Mukesh.
To me, that's the sort of photo that starts a religion.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm trying to say? It looks so amazingly. In fact, people keep saying this should hang in the Louvre. This looks like a Renaissance painting.
Yeah.
The Renaissance wishes that was a painting. That's how epic that image was. And I do think it was lovely to see that there was a way in which, like, much like how United were overly glorified because of the performance of the last couple of matches. I thought Liverpool have been overly written off in the sense that the midfield, I thought they were unfairly criticized in terms of.
No, I don't
They've been
think.
sitting in 10th, 11th place.
Yeah. I don't think.
Not unfair criticism for Liverpool.
Guys,
No, we're not going to let you speak. Fuck
Yeah, 75 million wala bargain wali
Haan,
feeling.
exactly.
No, wait. I do think a lot of that had to do with the midfield not performing at its peak. And I think here the midfield really clicked. Like, they were of the old midfield.
Correct.
And then you could finally see what happens when Liverpool's midfield clicks. Like, I think Liverpool scored about 47 goals this season, right? And about 16 of them have come in a 1-9-0 match and one in a 7-0 match. Right? So it's like 1/3 of the goals have come in 2 matches. The midfield has been exceptional.
Yeah.
So I think this is, in fact, I do feel like there's one cycle of Liverpool's dominance is over, and this sort of gives me the confidence that a second cycle of Liverpool dominance is beginning, and these are the flashes of it. Like, when the midfield clicks, you can know how lethal the team can be.
I do agree. And
I do feel like I'm going to start a new religion with Salah as like this Jesus, a new age Jesus.
Cool. I feel like, no, I feel like you're absolutely right, because when I saw the lineup and I saw Harvey Elliott in midfield, I was like, Henderson, Elliott, this is going to be another midfield that does not click. But Elliott fucking played so well, and even Henderson stepped up again.
Fabinho, actually, I think Fabinho, who's been shit, rightfully received a lot of shtick for it. And I think has upped his game in the last couple of performances. I don't think it's a coincidence that Liverpool have had a bunch of clean sheets in the last, barring the Real Madrid match, at least in the league matches, there've been about 5 clean sheets, I think, continuously. And I think him upping his game and that coinciding it's not a coincidence.
No. I also thought that, back in August when United beat Liverpool 2-1 at Old Trafford, like that was, and a lot of United players also say that about this season, where that was the moment, that was the result that was the turnaround for United, because before that, the Brighton loss, the Brentford loss, things were not going great. But that victory over Liverpool kind of got these players to believe in Ten Hag's philosophy, in what he was trying to do, and there was a turnaround. And I feel like this 7-0 victory will do the same for Liverpool.
Turn United back around.
No, I'm trying to say nice things about your team, dude.
And I'm trying to say not nice things about your team, dude.
I liked him when he was nicer.
Yeah.
I've never liked him.
That's true. Yeah, fair,
I'm loving
yeah,
this.
he's an average human being.
I know
It's fine.
Oh, please,
No,
please
but I-
continue. Please continue.
I
I'm enjoying this.
I do feel like this is going to be a turnaround for Liverpool because Klopp has been criticized this season, and just in the last episode you spoke about the bookmakers giving him the lowest possible odds for him to leave, and I feel like he took that shit personally.
He took that shit. And did you see the image that flew, the plane that flew with the banner that said FSG out, Klopp in? I think that was like a good clarification for, that's a broad sentiment of all fans, is that lest it be pitched as Klopp and FSG out. That was, I think, nice. And he must have been like, oh, okay, I guess. And it was obviously weird to be like, shit, my friend is an idiot, but I'm good.
Yeah. There was a lot of narrative also in this game because Cody Gakpo, who
Yes.
was heavily rumored to join Man United
Yes.
in the summer. Then he didn't end up going to United, went to Liverpool, scores 2 goals against United. Darwin Núñez, all United fans have been teasing him for his lack of finishing abilities, scores 2 goals.
And not only United fans.
Actually,
I
yeah,
think
all football,
fans,
all
including
fans.
Liverpool fans.
Yeah, fair.
Everyone.
He's the only player who sucks with when the ball is on the ground.
Yeah.
The ball needs to be somewhere in the air, even if it's 2 centimeters above that works. He's great. But I feel like if the ball is rolling and touching the ground, then I think he can't shoot.
Yeah. Firmino getting a goal, he's leaving at the end of the season.
I know, and I think Firmino has sort of been the weird human side of the Liverpool team in terms of like, I think he's the one that everybody loves. Like, there's nobody who doesn't love him. The manager loves him. The fans love him. The team, like everybody wants to celebrate with Firmino. He's the first guy to celebrate with the team.
Just not enough to get a good contract.
I think he had a decent contract. He's done 8 years at the club. I think.
हो गई उम्र हो गई उसकी अभी.
Yeah, Umar, he's 31 and he's probably 6th placed attacker right now.
Yeah.
6th choice attacker, sorry. And I don't think, and it's actually very few players get exits, right?
Yeah.
United might know a little about this, about loved players who leave.
United to his entries, exits, everything.
Yeah, sorry. So unlike that,
It's a fucking village bicycle. Na?
Yeah.
People come, they go, they ride, they leave, they come back. It's fucking...
So I think unlike that, Liverpool players doing the right thing but leaving at the right time, which is absolutely loved.
Of course.
Instead of doing it
So
for money.
Liverpool can do no wrong, basically.
Liverpool are doing no wrong. It's amazing.
Right.
Aakarsh, you wanna say
Where in
something?
the league is Liverpool?
They're 5th.
5th or what?
And how far is the league? Is the league over? No, there's still about a good 1/3
Yeah,
of
and
the
what's
league.
the points difference between United and Liverpool?
5 points? 2 games.
7, but close
Yeah,
enough.
what's the goal difference?
But this is, we have a game.
Fuck you, dude. Somebody be on my side. Salah is now Liverpool's all-time highest Premier League goal scorer.
He's a king, man. Oh my god, that moment when Trent crowning king, that felt like something like Julius Caesar or someone. It was like some epic moment. That was so cool.
क्या
I'm still
hyperbole
getting-
है रे? I'm
I'm
on
like-
neither side. 'cause
I'm
it's
like,
yeah,
chill,
both
chill.
just
I'm still
weird.
getting goosebumps from it. Felt like Jesus, or like felt like an epic moment. Yeah, it was stunning.
It's going to be amazing when on the 11th of March, Liverpool go away to Bournemouth and lose 1-0 because, that's just going to be perfect. I can't wait for that recording.
I know.
Bournemouth needs to go down, just like win.
No, that's okay. You know what? That's the thing, Amogh. This game was so epic. Like, I feel like I've said this before in the podcast that every Liverpool season, one of the joys of supporting Liverpool is that there's always that one thing you remember a season by, that one really iconic thing that you always remember. And I feel like this is that storytelling moment of the season. This is going to be, hey, where were you when that game happened?
Yeah.
For all Liverpool fans. So yeah,
Where were
thank
you? Where were you when this happened?
On cloud 9.
On cloud 9.
In life, but like...
I was watching the match at a friend's house. We had like all food laid out, and we had a lovely TV, and it was just I was absolutely comfortable.
So there was no touching yourself happening.
There was that, but
You like to do it in public.
I
That's
was
good to
in
know.
public. It was in public.
Good to know. I don't remember which goal it was, but we have to talk about the fan who came out to celebrate with the team and ended up hurting Curtis Jones. Then got taken away by the stewards, but also got shouted at by Klopp.
Yeah, that guy's I mean, no. Okay, first let's condone this behavior. It's very bad. It's very bad. Of course,
You would have done it if you were
I
a
would have
kid.
definitely done it. But it was amazing because you get yelled at by Klopp, and you're like, I don't know. I just feel like that's something on a wish list. Like, you want to get yelled at by Klopp, and you want to, like, that sounds like a bucket list activity for a Liverpool
It's
fan.
going on his Twitter bio.
It's
na?
going
His
on his
Twitter
Twitter
bio
bio.
probably
Resume.
says, yeah.
But my favorite statistic to have come out of last night was that Salah, and because I'm also saying this because multiple people have sent me the statistic to tell you, Amogh. So Salah has more yellow cards at Anfield because of taking his shirt off than United have goals at Anfield since 2016-17.
Yeah.
Which is an insane statistic.
It
if you
is an
think about
insane
it. I want to
statistic.
know your feelings about this statistic.
My wife sent me this exact statistic last night just to add salt to the
This is
wounds.
salt, masala,
Everything. We're in a happy marriage, guys. I'm just.
But she likes
Cheers.
checking out Mo Salah without his t-shirt. She knows how many times he's taken his t-shirt
She
off.
fucking said that also when he took his t-shirt off. Oh my god, look at his body. I'm like, listen, whose side are you on?
Mo
That
Salah.
body's, I mean, have you seen yours?
Yeah.
Amogh?
Yeah, fair.
Mo Salah has more abs.
Yeah, nobody's contesting that.
More bhi bolne ki zarurat nahi hai.
Yeah.
Mo Salah has abs.
But wait, are you comparing that to my abs or to the number of
To
goals?
the
you had?
number of goals.
Acha.
Because I think one ab is enough to defeat the number of abs that you have.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know why we all thought. I mean, I didn't think that. You didn't think that.
I didn't think that.
I think you thought it was a draw. Prashant thought it was 2-1 to United. When United haven't beaten.
So I'll tell you what, I did text a Liverpool, a friend who supports Liverpool, saying, hey man, I have a good feeling about this. I do feel like Liverpool are going to win it well. And then he's like, no bro, don't give me hope and all. And then we both masturbated in different parts of the country.
In different rooms.
parts.
Acha, okay, cool. Right, let's go to the top of the table then, because Arsenal.
Wait, what? That's it? This is over? I felt like I want to continue this parade for some more time.
Matlab,
Okay,
next week
what-
we have to do another episode. We can't just keep talking about this.
Yeah,
I feel like we haven't really gotten Aakarsh's thoughts on this.
I don't give a fuck.
I mean, historical defeat. It's the worst defeat ever. No, I think
Yeah.
I think we should say that. You should say
You
that.
should say
It
that.
is the worst defeat.
In the history of Liverpool and United,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
For
saying
95
something.
years. Yeah.
Wow. And the two in the second half, there was 6 goals in 45 minutes or something. That's
Yeah.
insane, Amogh. What
Yeah.
do you think about that shit?
That was shit.
That was shit.
Yeah.
What's the second worst defeat
Yeah,
that
what is it?
United's had?
Against
Against
6-1?
Liverpool?
6-1 City?
7-1.
No, against Liverpool.
7-1 in 1895. So it's been that historic.
Yeah.
So one was 130 years, Amogh. That means you lived through this moment as a fan,
Yeah.
which was so iconic. That means, that's insane. You're part of history, dude. Where were you when this happened?
When this
6
happened,
feet under.
yeah, crying in the corner in the kitchen of my house eating chocolate.
Oh, that sounds like good. That's iconic. You have to remember that for life now.
I had to watch a Reese with a spoon rom-com after
This
that
is-
just to get over the
Is it fair
trauma.
to say this is your 9/11?
No, it's not, because that
This
was
is
a
your
horrible thing that happened, dude.
This
Like,
is your
wow.
7-0. Like, your 9/11. Where were you for 7-0?
Yeah, I think that is the point we move on, because we don't want to make terribly dark references. Let's talk about Arsenal Bournemouth, because Bournemouth almost defeated Arsenal. Stop being sad, dude. It's fine. We have a job to do. We have other games to report on as well.
Keep bringing it up. It's fine.
I'll keep
It's
bringing
fine.
it up. You already know I will. He hates me, but he knows me so well.
Fucking Merseyside twats. Arsenal beat Bournemouth 3-2. Bournemouth taking the lead in 10 seconds. Do you think they'll stay up just on the basis of that?
I hope not. I hope they go. I mean, if quickest goals is what keeps you up, then problematic. But I hope not, because there's very few teams worse than Everton.
Yeah, but
And at 2-0 down, it was like, shit, Bournemouth's picking up the game.
But it really did look like Bournemouth were going to be able to pull this off. And right from the start, right from the time they scored their first goal, Neto, their goalkeeper, was just wasting time. It was hilarious to see, because this is the behavior you see at 85 minutes probably.
Yeah.
But this was from 10th minute on, they were wasting time.
Which also the last time I'd seen a club do this was Everton against Liverpool. When they were playing for the draw, Jordan Pickford was doing it. And the problem is, I feel like that tactic really doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because it disrupts your own team's composure,
Yeah.
which I think most goalkeepers fail to take into account. If a team is vastly superior to you, they will figure out a way to get the ball and score. So I do feel like this kind of time-wasting tactic is rubbish that doesn't work.
But Neto got a bad end of that. No, did you all see how Ben White celebrated the winner?
Yeah.
He went right in front of Neto and celebrated, which was amazing, because they had 7 minutes of stoppage time only because of the keeper.
Yeah. But also, I mean, I thought Ben White was fantastic in that game. I think from the point that he was introduced, I think he was a halftime sub. From the time that he came out to play in the second half, he changed the game, because Tomiyasu was playing right back before that and he was not effective.
Yeah. I think he came on, he did a very, very good job. First goal for Arsenal, very, very important time. He got the equalizer there.
He got the equalizer.
He got the equalizer. It was a good goal for a defender.
Fantastic.
And also these are the kind of games like a 97th minute winner. These are the kind of games you need to win to go on to win the title. And
Yeah.
these are also the kind of games as a fan you'd like to remember.
That's the cliche. It's not the 7-0 victories that get you the championship. It is the 3-2s against Bournemouth. So that's the end of that, Mukesh. Stop pushing for it.
But they've been doing that a bit, huh? Like Arsenal, I feel like we've spoken about this really often, where towards the end, in that final run of the title challenge, or at least I know I've said that City know how to handle the pressure, and I've always felt that Arsenal will crumble. But they've been doing these comeback victories really well.
They
I think a couple of game weeks ago, again, they had gone down 2-0 and they came back to win it. That team looks like a cohesive unit that works well together. That's
in fact, my
something.
only fear is, I think, for this match, I think they relied on the third or fourth choice striker, like I think, or like attacker to score. I think not even fourth, it was probably fifth.
But let's talk about that. Let's talk about Reece Nelson a bit, because he has always come up clutch. Like he has always. I don't know too much of him. But what little I know is that he is a fringe player, but when he comes on in the 70th minute, he will get an assist and a goal for sure. I feel like he's done that in every game that he's played.
He reminds me of a certain Liverpool legend called Divock Origi.
Right.
This team that beat United 7-0 this weekend. So
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No idea.
So.
I want to tell you about it.
Achha.
I could tell you. So basically what happened is, there's a team called Liverpool that defeated United 7-0. And they just destroyed them, smashed them to smithereens, just absolutely pulverized their confidence. There's this friend of mine, he's crying every day. His wife rubbed it in his face, just disgusting.
Amogh, put your footwear back on. Don't hit him with a chappal. Yaar, kya kar raha hai? Matlab,
No,
let's be civil here.
I'm just trying to... you finish. Are you done?
I'm done.
Cool. Because you know that I edit this podcast, right? So, suddenly this episode releases tomorrow. Mukesh is not on the podcast. It's just Aakarsh and me. Yeah, it's just a 5-minute episode. Right. I think that's a good point to take a break on. So we'll take a break here. On the other side, we'll talk about City's victory. We'll talk about a victory for Graham Potter as well. And as always, we'll answer your questions, which I think will all be about Liverpool 7, United 0. See you on the other side. Welcome back to the Corner Flag, everybody. And as always, we begin the second half with some questions. Questions with the Corner Flag.
Dude, answers also, huh?
So I'm going to take the questions this week, and all require some bit of thinking though. So get your thinking side of your brain ready, as opposed to the non-thinking part that's been active till now. So let's go. What was the score? Amogh asks Sri Vallabhem. Now, Amogh, what do you think about this question? What was the score?
I think this is a deeply philosophical question, because what is the score anyway?
Yes.
Right. Who knows what a score is? These are all just numbers.
Excellent. Yeah. So Gunty.92 asks, I'm sure the pod started with this, but Muki just asked Amogh again what the score was. So Amogh, again, another conundrum that's come to us.
Right.
Is about what the score was in the match that United and Liverpool played. So just you want to say something about this? Like, I'm unsure. Yeah.
It was 2-1. The match happened back in August at Old Trafford. United beat Liverpool 2-1. Because you said United first, so I was thinking about the home fixture. So that's the answer to that.
Got
2-1.
It. Fair,
yes.
Fair. Bhav Neat asks us, no questions, just say hi to Amogh for me. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha. And a high five or a slap, depending on how you want to interpret it. Now, regarding that statement, I feel like it was Socrates who said this last.
Right.
So what do you think about this part?
I think that the ha-ha-ha-has were extremely poignant by Bhavneet. And I'd also like to respond to him by saying hello, because he did say hi, which was very, very sweet and very, very polite of him. Which you don't really expect from Liverpool fans.
Yes.
Politeness and
manners. Oh yeah,
manners.
because he also said, stick it to the motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. But that didn't make it to the question. That he sent to you privately.
That privately we're bitching about
you. Ko mat bol, main gaali deta hai. But yeah. So yes, I feel like he was 2 hours overdue.
Okay.
And I
think
felt
yeah. Okay. So, me_may_shh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's his name.
Yeah.
Says Amogh with 3 exclamation marks.
Very, very excited about this one.
Ha ha! Just 1 exclamation mark. So he's not that excited. But
Okay.
he's Amogh. He's really excited to see your name. What's your thoughts on Liverpool getting back into top 4?
Nimesh, listen to the first half of this episode. But wait, he asked, what's your thoughts on Liverpool getting back into the top 4? Very, very achievable.
Very achievable.
Very achievable because Spurs are playing like shit.
Correct. Oh. Next, RBNR asks everybody, can Liverpool get top 4?
I don't think it's that easy.
I think Liverpool are going to get top 4. Because, and my logic being that Liverpool look like a team where the injured players are now getting back, whereas other teams are struggling with injuries now.
Yeah.
And like Amogh said, this is probably the moment that galvanizes the team into some sort of form, and they've done this in that 2021 season where they were again out of favor to even make it to top 4. Then they powered themselves up to number 3, which is not ideal to get into top 4. Like the team should be aiming higher, but I think this is the best we can do this season.
I agree. I think top 4 is possible for Liverpool.
Yes. And Krishiv_25 says, I said Loda Pool few weeks back, such mein Loda lag diye yaar. Just a comment that's come. Just thought, just wanted you
Eloquence.
He sounds like he's a United fan.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This is poetry. Poetry, Krishiv.
Mirza Ghalib wrote something like that. So I think after that, we haven't seen stuff like this.
Yeah, that amazing poem by Mirza Ghalib, Loda Pool. All-time classic.
Yeah. Correct. And then, okay.
How many fucking questions do we have?
So many questions.
As many as there were goals. Matlab.
I feel like we've crossed 7 right now.
This is again to all of us in general. A serious question by Mehta.Ishan who says, was playing Dalot instead of AWB, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, a mistake on Ten Hag's behalf? Dalot seriously out of form since World Cup. Amogh, you start.
I don't think so. Yes, he has been out of form, but I felt like to counter the threat that Liverpool posed, Dalot was a better option.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like he's marginally faster than Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka does have a better tackle on him, but Dalot just gives you a little bit extra. So I was expecting Dalot to play the first half and maybe Wan-Bissaka to come on in the second half, which is what Ten Hag did against Barcelona and to great effect. But that did not happen. So I feel like the criticism for Ten Hag is he didn't get Wan-Bissaka or he didn't make the changes sooner.
I think the way I'd see this is the fact that I think Wan-Bissaka tends to be a little like he flies. Like if someone touches him, he generally tends to be a little weaker than Dalot. So I think United's approach was to be a little aggressive and cause a few more fouls without getting cards.
Yeah.
Which I think Dalot is capable of. He knows that balance, whereas Wan-Bissaka is a little more temperamental, lighter, fly. So yeah, I think that's probably why he took it. I thought it was a fair bet. It just didn't work out, but you can't hold him against it. Noob Click says, grudge match on 7th. See you guys at Mumbai Football Arena.
Fantastic. Yes. Are you going to come?
I should come. What's happening?
The semi-finals of the
semi-finals.
playoffs.
Got it. Yes.
Mumbai versus Bengaluru is happening.
Of course. This, I'm very clearly supporting Mumbai. So I'm definitely coming. So
Not Bangalore? Which is your hometown?
No, Hyderabad's my hometown, which is not the same thing as Bangalore, by the way, Amogh. I should contextualize. All South Indian cities aren't.
I thought you were joking when you were talking about the South. Your geography genuinely seems really bad, Amogh.
No, but South India is a state.
Yeah, it is a state. Is what he thinks I'm saying, according to him.
I mean, they all eat idli, they all eat dosa. It's all the same. If you're seriously not getting the sarcasm yet, fuck. I'll get hate.
Shrew_8 has a question for the both of you. Why is Mukesh so poetic in contextualizing things? How can we also develop that? I think both of you should
because he's a
answer it.
truth.
This
Moving on.
Yeah, this is amazing, guys. This look what like I feel like every other episode I've gotten hate messages, but this time I feel like there's been a lot of love, and I
Who's
like
that
it.
account? You've become more active on social media. No, you're just tooting your own horn here.
Shrew_8. That's me. But yes, those are the questions for today. Thank you, Liverpool fans, for writing in and waking up. I've been missing your support for the last year or so. And it was good. It was good to stick it to Amogh.
Fair weather fans. Only waking up when results go their way.
Yep, that's true.
Right. Thank you for writing in as always, even though I got the shit end of the bargain this time around. Right. Let's talk about the other team in the title race. Man City coming up 2-0 winners over Newcastle United in the oil derby or the Middle East derby or the dubious state regimes derby. We can call it either of the three.
I was actually feeling really bad, and I think I'd said some version of this last episode. That is, there's so much politics around it about oil money coming in, and Middle Eastern ownership, state ownership, and billionaires. And I'm thinking there are fans who supported this club. There are players who are like Sean Longstaff who've just made it through the ranks, and you can't be throwing so much ideology. You can't. I don't know. It's very conflicting as a football fan to see players like him, and to see the body politics that's happening outside of the game, and how do you compare the two, and how do you judge one over the other? And because you do walk into this game and you see players like Longstaff, you can't help but root for Newcastle, even though the politics is bad. But it sucks that anyway the team with the bigger pockets I think won.
No, Newcastle have the bigger pockets.
So technically the underdog won.
Yeah, technically the underdog
The
won.
billionaire lost to the trillionaire.
Man City are the underdogs.
Yeah, the billionaire lost to the trillionaire.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Newcastle's early season exploits seem to be vanishing now. No, they started off really well, but I feel like...
You can't hold them accountable when losing to Man City.
No, it's not just Man City. I'm saying that Newcastle these days are finding it very hard to score the goals. Like, their defense is sorted. And I'm not going to hold the fact that they shipped in 2 goals against Man City at the Etihad. Hone wala hai. But overall, I feel like their defense is very sorted. But in attack, they don't have the proper goal scorers, because their 2 main strikers are Isak, who's been injured for a long time. He's got a lot of potential. He's a very good striker. And when he's on form and it's his day, he's very, very good.
But those players, as you and I know, are the ones who can't be trusted with.
Yeah.
Which, when you say he's great potential but keeps getting injured, that's a red flag.
Exactly.
Red corner flag. Sorry.
It is. I'm wearing red. Liverpool won, but you couldn't even wear the jersey.
Wearing green. Green is for money.
FSG hasn't sold Liverpool yet. No, so Isak is one. The other one is Callum Wilson, who again is a very good striker, but so injury prone. So they're finding it very hard to score the goals. Even Almiron is not chipping in with as many goals as he has. San Maximan is great at running around in circles, but then does nothing with it.
Honestly, I feel like these are teething issues for Newcastle. I'm not just talking about the players. In terms of, this is also the first time probably the players are being taken seriously to the point where probably playing rougher against them is an option that most teams are considering. That's one. But also this is probably teething issues for the coaching staff, the scouting team. You know what I'm trying to say? That the kind of players to look for, because they're probably understanding what it's like to scout for a team that's going to be attacked physically a lot more.
Yeah.
So I think these are part of the teething issues, and like I said, this is probably the only season Newcastle are still an underdog, and after this we can hate them, but I think it's okay in this season to give them that benefit of doubt and not really be too harsh on the way they've gone about doing their business.
But honestly, I feel like they've been performing really well. Yeah, I mean, I know that they've had a bit of a slump in form, but you have to look at the overall season. They've still got the fewest losses along with Arsenal.
Yeah.
They've only lost 3 games. This was the 3rd loss. They're 4 points behind Tottenham in 4th place with 2 games in hand. And when I said that Liverpool might not make it to top 4, it's not necessarily because of Tottenham, but I feel like Newcastle United are doing really well.
I feel like 2 goals in the last 5 games is not great.
So I think that the low number of losses but a high number of draws indicates that they've been missing that finishing power.
Exactly.
Which is why I believe that Liverpool might just run them. Yeah, just because Liverpool, even though they might lose a few more games, they know the ones they win, they're going to win high and they're going to get those 3 points. But that doesn't take away from Newcastle what they've achieved this season. I think the fact that you consider that dipping in form itself is their highest achievement.
Yeah.
Like that for a team that not only was being considered a relegation candidate last season, but to come back this season and to be like, hey, they're not performing that well itself is sensational.
It is.
Why they're in 5th place?
Why they're in 5th place, and that to be expecting them to do better than 5th.
I feel like they're definitely going to get top half. Like there is no doubt about it.
Europe for sure.
No, Europe also. You never know, yaar. They might.
They might. Amogh being a little too harsh on that.
No, they could. Yeah, you never know with a team like Newcastle.
I think they could get relegated or something. I'm thinking like
they won't.
Meteor can come and wipe us out.
Yeah, exactly.
But
they're all possibilities.
No. But I think in a more realistic realm of possibilities with the reasonable odds, I think Europe, is pretty much guaranteed for them.
Who do you think will go ahead of them?
Oh.
Not
Why
Liverpool.
do you think they will do so badly that they can't even...
I feel like with Newcastle, especially with the problems that they have in attack and especially with this trend that we are now seeing where they're not getting the goals in, they're not able to win games convincingly in this little patch. if that stretches, then they're going to go further and further down the
13
table.
draws there in Europe.
Yeah, and
13 draws that making it to Europe.
And also the quality of the Premier League, I think this season is really, really poor. Like, who's going to leapfrog them? Right now there's
Brighton can leap. Dude, Brighton are playing so well.
I would reserve this tone of conversation for Brighton. That someone who's been doing well might dip in form and they'll probably settle for top half.
Brighton just beat West Ham 4-0.
Sure.
Yeah, but that's West Ham.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it's West Ham, Bournemouth and other.
But I feel like
I'll be shocked if Newcastle don't make Europe. And I feel like Eddie Howe deserves the sack if he doesn't make top 7, because top 7 is basic for the way that Newcastle's been playing, and it's basic for the way the rest of the table's been playing, I would say.
I'm still a little reserved about if Newcastle can maintain. It'll be great if they can still get Europe, because it'll be lovely to see that club back where it thinks it belongs. But we'll see. I still think Brighton have it in them to leapfrog them. I would put Fulham as outside contenders to leapfrog them as well.
Oh, yeah.
No, Amogh, that's okay.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Now you're you're pushing it.
No, it's just तुम लोग ने भी Saudi पैसा खाया है क्या?
Of
Like you
course.
guys are.
I went to Dubai airport. If I take how my money, dude.
Why?
My money is making that fund.
Dubai is not Saudi Arabia.
The money just goes from one to the
You're
other.
being very, very racist here. Not all Middle Eastern countries are the same.
But the money, now the oil.
Oh,
that
but
churns
all
out is-
South Indian states are the same.
Yes, absolutely.
You're being racist now, he says.
There's nothing racist about telling you
I'm
that all
ignorant
South.
about a different country.
So
Set of countries, actually.
you're ignorant about this country. You think there's different states in South India. You're a Deshdrohi. You feel like these different states need their own countries. You're a secessionist.
Secessionist.
You're getting murdered in your sleep, and it's going to be Mukesh who does it.
Yeah, he's like 7-0, 7 stabs.
Saat, Khoon, Maaf.
Fuck the number 7. Let's go to Chelsea. Graham Potter getting a victory finally after what seems like years, 7 years maybe. You want me to add that?
7 years in Tibet.
Yeah, can I join in that 7 bandwagon?
It's amazing that Amogh has cracked more jokes on himself than I have done, and that's exactly what I wanted this episode.
Exactly. मैं तो हमेशा joke crack करेगा मेरे पे.
Yeah.
That's the best defense
The
mechanism.
clown who makes everybody laugh.
Yeah, but cries.
Cries in the rain himself.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a tattoo of a teardrop. But yes, Graham Potter getting a victory over Leeds United. You must be happy as an Everton fan with Leeds losing.
Yeah, most of the relegation teams have been doing well, but Leeds' loss was good.
That puts Leeds in 17th place, level on points with you, but they do have a game in hand. So, you know, Everton still have a little bit of work to do. But finally, a victory for Graham Potter. Wesley Fofana coming in with the goal. Do you think this is going to be a turnaround, or are we going to see more of the same from Graham Potter? And by same, I mean what they've been doing before this victory, which is not winning.
I think a 1-0 victory doesn't say, it says scrappy, right? It
Yeah.
says pretty much
1-0 victory over Leeds at home.
at home is scrappy. It sounds like a game that could have gone here or there. It has a little bit of heads or tails vibes to it.
Yeah.
You expect more, and we've discussed this again last episode, which is that Graham Potter's been sorely missing attacking talent, and even that attacking talent that's expected to come is now on loan somewhere else. So maybe it's a bit of bad luck, but I think to not have the coaching caliber to create an attacking system that at least delivers 2-3 goals in games that should be comfortable victories, or that should at least improve your goal difference, right? These are games that should be improving your GD. I think it doesn't say anything. In fact, I think it continues the narrative that Graham Potter is a little out of depth at Chelsea. I'm not saying that's going to be there in the future, or maybe that's is the case always about him. But currently, it does continue the narrative that he's out of depth for a while.
But they do have a good run of fixtures coming up. I think they're playing Leicester next, who's been out of form for a while. Then they're playing Everton next, which, I mean, whatever. So I think they've got a few games till they play Liverpool. I think 3 or 4 games before they play Liverpool. And if they can get a good run of form going, we could see them maybe try and make their way up into the Europe spots.
I don't think Chelsea have it in them this season
I don't think so
to do it. Because 1-0 victory against Leeds is very, very scrappy. That too, Wesley Fofana getting the goal. It's just it doesn't seem like they have any cohesive attacking options, even though they have fucking Mudryk, Joao Felix, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount. But none of these players, Raheem Sterling, none of these players seem to be working for Chelsea. None of these players seem to be getting into Graham Potter's system or what he's trying to do. it just looks like a lost cause. But good for all of us non-Chelsea fans, because apparently Todd Bowley is going to stick around with Graham Potter and he's going to put his faith in him. So
That's good, because I feel like basically Newcastle have taken Chelsea's place.
yeah,
Like we just have a new club to hate.
Correct.
We transfer hate from one club to the other.
yeah.
That's great
You're going to see so many Newcastle United fan clubs pop up in this city
in
now.
this city. So many.
It's going to be great. Spurs lost 1-0 to Wolves. Adama Traore getting the goal of all people. He doesn't really score a lot, but when he scores,
He destroys teams. Yeah, it's an impact.
I was going to make an oil on his skin pun because that's what he does, but that's fine.
You can still make it a move.
No, it's fine.
It
You
slipped
make-
away from you.
It slipped away from me. Much like the game at Anfield. Much like Gerrard. Was that at Anfield? No, that was at Stamford
That was
Bridge.
at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
That was like 7 years ago.
See, I set that up perfectly
I
for you.
just set that up perfectly.
Yeah, I set that up for you. Southampton also getting a 1-0 victory over Leicester. We just spoke about Leicester, about how badly they're doing. Brendan Rodgers is fucked.
I think it was stupid of Leicester to stick around with him for so long.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think maybe for 1 or 2 seasons he was good. I think there was a time when he upped the attacking talent in the team and utilized them to their full extent. And he's been historically known, it's public knowledge to the point that there are podcasters in Bombay who know this, that he has no idea how to set up defensive systems.
Yeah.
And I think he should have been sacked about maybe 2 seasons ago, and they should have scouted for a younger manager from a place like Germany, Austria, somewhere where there's some exciting coaching work happening. I do think it was a mistake, and to stick around with him for so long, that a team that's been that's a Hasenhüttl reject has now.
But I feel like even with Leicester, I feel like their injuries have caused a little bit of an issue.
Even if Leicester was a fully fit squad, there was no way. I don't have faith in Brendan Rodgers' systems.
I mean, who knows more about Brendan
Who
Rodgers
knows
than you?
more about Brendan Rodgers'
Fair. So I'll
systems
take your word for it.
to put up a non-leaky or a not shaky defense.
Right.
And yeah, this is bound to happen. And I'm like, I'm to the point where I'm like, now serves you right.
Yeah.
And I feel like with Leicester, like Mukesh is saying, firstly, their defense is leaky because Brendan Rodgers. But also what's happened is that they had Jamie Vardy leading the line for really, really long.
Yeah.
And now he's gotten to that age where he can't start every game. And I don't think they've replaced his tenacity, his shithousery, his clinical finishing in front of goal. So I think it's a poor attack and poor defense. And like they just now, I feel like they won the teams that could go down.
They're a great team, except they have a poor attack, a bad midfield, and a shitty defense.
Yeah. And a shitty manager.
And a shitty manager. Other than that, excellent.
Right. Let's just stay with Southampton for a bit, because Southampton manager Ruben Celes said Carlos Alcaraz, who got the match-winning goal, does not understand a word of English. Because this is great, because if you saw the pre-match huddle photos just before kickoff, everybody is in the huddle and bent over listening to the team talk. Alcaraz is standing up. He's not even bothering to listen to the team talk because mere ko kya samjhega.
Do you think the coaching worked or the coaching didn't work? The fact that he scored is because what? Like,
Because football is a universal language.
No,
mate.
he must have just gone, they must have told him ball, goal, shoot.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I get
and he's
it.
like, I
That's all that
understand
matters.
one of those words, and it's shoot.
He also did a knee slide while celebrating, and he did not, execute the knee slide properly, so ended up hurting himself a little bit, and he was limping for a little while after.
Wait, are you
and
sure it's not a Ted Lasso episode? This is.
it could be. It could be. I think the way Southampton's being run right now, it does seem like Ted Lasso. Except they rejected an American coach in Jesse Marsh, or he rejected them. We'll never know. But like we said, football is a universal language, and as long as you can speak the language of football.
Who's managing them now?
Ruben Celes.
Oh, yeah.
Don't ask me who he is, because I have no fucking idea.
No, because I just realized that they'd sacked their manager and didn't sign Jesse Marsh.
Oh, you did? You just realized they sacked their manager.
And didn't sign Jesse Marsh.
I don't know if it was Jesse Marsh who rejected them, or if it was the other way around, because I think Jesse Marsh wanted a longer contract.
Yeah, that's
and
what I remember.
Southampton were like, "Pehle ye season ka to dekh le bhai." Much like Everton, essentially.
But I was just gonna say, at least he asked for a longer contract with the first team, which is better than Everton got with what's his face?
Exactly.
Bielsa.
Our last game that we'll talk about in this episode is, of course, the Everton game, because they're very close to last place in the league. So
Very
it's only
close.
fitting that we get into the relegation zone now.
We start with Liverpool and end with a Liverpudlian
Why
club.
Liverpool's not anywhere close to the top? It's not like we're going in linear fashion. I know
I'm
you
saying we
won
start-
7-0, but you're not on top of the table.
Yeah, it doesn't mean 7-0 victory doesn't mean that you're now in first place. Like
We're
ऐसा नहीं.
starting our
Acha,
journey.
okay.
there, huh?
But Everton going away to Nottingham Forest and taking the lead twice, but losing the lead twice as well. That should have been 3 points that you guys won.
I mean, I'm just fascinated that they scored 2 goals.
Acha.
That
That's how low the bar is.
They,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, because they scored more than 10% of their goals all season in that one half. Everton have scored 19 goals in I don't know how many ever games there have been.
Yeah.
So 2 goals was shocking because I can't remember the last time they scored 2 goals. Honestly, it feels like away 1 point, le lo. What jo mil raha hai, le lo. It's fine.
Mookie,
I'm
when was the
going
last
down.
time you remember Liverpool scored 2 goals?
There was between minute 46 and minute 48
Right. Good.
against the
Good to
match
know.
against
Good to know. You don't. I set you up for it.
Leeds?
Manchester United.
Acha.
Amogh, which-
That you know.
Brennan Johnson getting the 2 goals for Forest. He looks like a good player that will transfer to Leicester City next season.
No, not Leicester. I think a lot of these Nottingham Forest players, and they bought like some 30 of them, so there are lots of them. But I think a lot of them will get big moves. Even one player who stood out last night was Morgan Gibbs-White. He was very, very good. So I feel like he'll get a big move. Johnson will get a big move. I hope they continue to be a little bit shit because it was a terrible. I'm sure you all didn't watch the game. It was a shit game of football.
Was it really? I thought it was quite end to end.
It was end to end, but it was end to end because both the teams were so equally poor. Like I saw Everton versus Leeds, and I was like, oh my god, Leeds are so shit that they should go down before Everton. Then I saw Nottingham Forest and I was like, oh my god, Forest are so shit. There are so many shit teams.
Yeah.
Like this Premier League season's been so bizarre. Everyone's turned off. I don't know what it is.
There's like what? Between 13th place Wolves and 12th place Palace, who are on 27 points, and 20th place Bournemouth now, there's 6 points.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
ridiculous.
mad.
Mad also, I do think football fatigue has hit the players also. I think World Cup. I know not every team has World Cup.
None of these bottom 7 teams had any World Cup players.
But
They're all
I
shit.
generally feel like there is a football fatigue too. There are too many tournaments. Some players, the coaching staff is stretched thin. There's also breaks in between that doesn't help any team. That dips in form. So I think COVID also messed up the way teams play. The repercussions are still being felt. So I do feel like maybe next season is the first season where we'll feel like, okay, it's sort of back to what we understood football as.
Yeah, because last few seasons, I think there have been maybe 4. Last few seasons, the bottom 2 teams have been obvious, right? And then there's maybe 2 other teams or 3 other teams that are fighting for that 18 spot.
That's because Norwich is in the Premier League.
Norwich and Watford were around.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true. But this time it's really open. Yeah, there's about 7-8 teams that could easily go down and deserve to maybe.
Who do we think are 3 of those teams? The teams that deserve it at least, because I feel like West Ham are in within a shout because they have been absolutely poor.
Southampton, West Ham and Leeds maybe?
Southampton, West Ham and Leeds is a good shout.
Yeah.
I feel like Everton deserve to go down.
No, sure.
I feel like Everton deserved to go down before Daesh came in.
Yeah.
But since Daesh has come in...
I love him too much. I'll even support Everton.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like not because of Daesh. In fact, he's done really well since he came in. But the way the board let him down in the winter transfer window, selling Gordon for 45 million and not investing any of that money back in, just for the poor squad management, I think Everton deserve to go down. There are no goals.
But I feel
Who's
like
scoring the goals?
I feel like because of those shitty decisions, I trust Daesh to turn this around.
Yeah.
Like he will still, even with all these hurdles, he will overcome them and keep them up. He'll finish 17th maybe, but you'll be up.
But can I say something in support of Everton? And I think this is, people have a more, rather in support of Sean Dyche, which is that people have always assumed to be sort of a Tudda manager, like sort of a bludgeon, sort of like a blunt axe who approached to football. And he's always said, hey, that's because of the team I was with. And those are the resources available.
And the way he looks and
the way he looks and sounds, like there's certain uncouth, unpolishedness about him that you expect. But I think at Everton, he started playing 6 midfielders, right? Which
Because
I think
there are
was
no
a- but that's-
strikers.
I think that it is actually a sort of tactical bravery to play like that. Like I'm sure it's not a Barcelona or a Man City playing without a striker. It's not the same thing. But I think
Right.
to bring in that sort of tactical innovation at even clubs that are basically fighting for survival at this level, I think just to that sort of audacity requires requires reward, and that is what actually I feel like makes Everton exciting. Of all the shit teams, like they're the nicer shit.
I hope you're right, man.
Yeah,
I really hope you're right.
Yeah.
I just feel like there are no. Sadly, Daesh is a guy who needs that one person. You cross the ball and you put it in. He doesn't have that chap unless Calvert-Lewin somewhere finds fitness.
Finds fitness, yeah.
Because others is Neil Maupay and like now
But Neil
Demar-
Maupay is unfit too, I've heard.
No, Neil Maupay has been in terrible form since the last 6 months of his Brighton contract. He's not done well. He was a panic buy for Everton. We've got Demari Gray playing striker. That's who played striker against Nottingham Forest because there's no strikers available. So I think there's a lack of goals in that team. I hope they stay up. I don't see it happening this season.
Right. On that note, it is time to wrap up this episode of the podcast. But before we go, I'd just like to go back to United Liverpool, just to make it a nicer episode. My parting gift to you, dear sir.
Mukesh's grin is back.
His grin is back. I remember at some point I mentioned this on our social media after Real Madrid beat Liverpool 5-3. Is that if and after you said if there's any team that can make a comeback in the second leg, it's Liverpool. And I said at that point, if Liverpool do make a comeback, then I'll do the next episode of the podcast wearing a Liverpool jersey. I'm going to say this on the podcast right now because Liverpool have just scored 7 goals against Man United and they need only 3 against Real Madrid. That this is looking like it could actually be possible. So there is a chance that I wear a Liverpool jersey
Don't
on the
insult
podcast.
Real Madrid by comparing them to Manchester United.
Oh, fuck. I was being nice.
We should have ended the episode.
I
We
was
should have just
being
ended the
nice.
episode.
That was good. That
Fuck
felt
you.
good. That
Right.
felt good.
That felt right. So then, on that note, it's time to end. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Corner Flag. If you'd like to get in touch and tell us what you thought of this episode or any other episode, you can reach us on our social media. You can find Aakarsh on Instagram at.
Aakarsh Chandan.
You can find Mukesh on Instagram at He's a Truth.
Mukesh Manjunath.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Amogh. And you can also find the Corner Flag on Instagram and Twitter at @CornerFlagPod. Do visit our website, thecornerflag.in. Support us by buying us a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/thecornerflag. If you can't do any of that, that's fine. But do subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast from. And do not forget to give us a 5-star review. Shout out to Kaizad Gurda, who composed our theme tune. And until next week, it is goodbye from us. So say bye, Aakarsh.
Bye.
Say bye, Mukesh.
7.
It's bye from me.